Now to breaking news, and the US President Donald Trump has confirmed that he and First Lady Melania have tested positive for coronavirus. Chief Foreign Correspondent Philip Williams joins us now from Washington. Phil, what do we know?
Well, let's have a look at the tweet that he just put out. He says, FLOTUS, that's his wife Melania, and I tested positive for COVID-19. We will begin our quarantine and recovery process immediately. We will get this together in highlighted caps. Yes, we found out that there was potentially a problem a couple of hours ago when we were told that Hope Hicks, who was one of his closest aides, someone that he holds very dear in his administration, and someone that travels with the president often, had tested positive. Earlier, we found out about that in the evening at about 8 o'clock Washington time. Then we found out that both the president and the president's wife, Melania, have been tested, but we didn't get the results. So now we have confirmation that yes, he is positive for coronavirus. The President of the United States has the virus. We assume that confirming tests have been done, that this is not just on the basis of one test in case there was a false positive or negative there. And that's extremely big news. It's big news from a health point of view. Of course, the health concerns about the President's, how he'll progress medically, and of course his wife and Hope Hicks and anybody else within that circle that may well have come in contact with Hope Hicks and come down with the virus. But also we're in the middle of a very intense election campaign, and the President did have several large events planned for this weekend, particularly one in Wisconsin, which was very controversial because Wisconsin's going through its highest level of coronavirus itself, and many thought in that state that he shouldn't come because it was a big potential of a spreader event. Now, the President, of course, has been to many of these big events himself. He's never worn a mask at these events. He's said he's quite confident that he's safe because people are away from him, and that he's not in contact with people that may be able to transmit that disease. But I guess the question could be asked, well, who gave it to who? Is it possible that the President caught it from somebody else and that Hope Hicks caught it from him? So a lot of unanswered questions, but what it does do is throw a huge spanner in the election works. And again, at the time he was trying to shift the focus to other things than coronavirus, because it's not seen as a positive for him. Suddenly he finds himself up against the wall, himself having to deal with the disease, and that could be serious enough. We only have to look at what happened to Boris Johnson to know that. And President Bolsonaro, of course, got it in Brazil, not nearly as badly. But how does he then regain the momentum for his campaign and not have this sharp focus on coronavirus, where, after all, as of now, about 208,000 Americans have died of that disease. He's now one of more than 7, approaching 8 million Americans that have caught the disease, and that's only the ones that have been actually registered.
And Phil, do we have any idea what the President's quarantine process will look like?
None at all, but I guess we'd assume, since he is at the White House, that's where he'll stay. It's a big house. He'll have plenty of room to be able to isolate. He'll have the very best medical care in the world, really. I mean, he's not short of that. And if the disease progresses and it becomes serious, he'll have extremely good medical care at Walter Reed Hospital or any of the other Washington-based hospitals. So from that point of view, he's in the best of hands. Politically, he's in a difficult spot. And of course, his rivals, Joe Biden, has criticised him many, many times, saying that your lack of wearing masks sent a signal that it was okay not to wear masks, and that his handling of the coronavirus has cost tens of thousands of American lives. And just in that last debate, Joe Biden said if everyone wore a mask in America, according to the CDC, the actual authority on this sort of thing that the President's supposed to be advised by, then it could almost be wiped out in about 3 to 4 months, and that would save 100,000 American lives. So there's this actually at the worst possible time in the election cycle puts the focus on the worst possible subject that the president would hope to have avoided up until now.